Hey guys, Troy Francis coming at you here in New York City, where I'm sitting down and I'm just about to eat a burger and fries outside this diner place. So 3 red flags that you absolutely shouldn't ignore. So look, a lot of crap gets talked about red flags in this space, and a lot of them, to be honest, I think are pretty kind of redundant, really. I mean, she's got tattoos. Come on, like, everyone's got tattoos now. It's not like exactly the end of the world. She goes to the club with her friends. Well, you know, it depends on the nature of the relationship you're in, how controlling you want to be, etc., etc. But I think that we have to accept that women, you know, have their own social life and they want to do their own thing. So, as I say, kind of depends on the nature of the relationship you want to have. But if you're casually dating, which is in the main what, you know, this channel's about, then her having a social life shouldn't be a big issue for you, right? It's just, you know, that's not a huge deal, unless of course she's you know, doing stuff that you get the vibe that she's doing stuff that's underhand. So, but anyway, putting that to one side, what are the 3 key red flags that you should absolutely not ignore? Well, the first one is excessive flakiness. Okay, so if you meet a woman and she is just kind of all over the place, and it's like you make an arrangement and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't do that, but I can do this, and a little bit of that is fine. You know, sometimes you might suggest a date on a particular day and she says, well, actually, listen, I really can't do that because I've got a dentist appointment, but what about Thursday? Okay, that's absolutely fine. But if it becomes a pattern, and then if it becomes like on the evening of the date, you know, you're meeting at 8 and then she rings up, oh, listen, sorry, I'm going to be, you know, 40 minutes late randomly, or, you know, she just doesn't turn up, she's like an hour late or 2 hours late or something like that. That, I would say, is a red flag, not because necessarily she's like a terrible person or anything, but it's just because that kind of energy, that sort of chaotic kind of all over the place kind of energy is just not gonna do you any good. Okay, that's not really the kind of person I want to be dealing with. I want to be dealing with somebody who's like, okay, we're going to meet, and then it's very straightforward and she meets up. Because remember, all of this stuff is predicated on genuine desire. Does she actually genuinely want to be with you or not? And if she genuinely wanted to be with you, she would make time. She would move everything in her calendar in order to, you know, to meet up with you. Now, the truth of the matter is that if you're dealing with, you know, young women, attractive, in high demand, in a, you know, a big sort of urban metropolitan place like New York City or London or whatever, they have a lot of demands on their time. They have a lot of different options. They have a lot of different invitations, as you can imagine, of the sort that we can all imagine. They're getting hit up a lot by different dudes, and there's different things that they can possibly do, and it's all very exciting and fun for them. But that's not the kind of energy you want to be caught up in, because it's sort of like, well, look, I mean, I should be forefront in her attention, okay? She should want to spend time with me. She should want to move things so that we can hang out, we can chill together, whatever, okay? If that's not happening, then that's a red flag, because it kind of, not even just because of the inconvenience of it or whatever. I mean, we're all adults, you can get over that. The issue really is, does she actually want to spend time with you or not, or is she just kind of playing around, okay? And if you get the sense that she's kind of playing a little bit, you know, maybe there's some other dudes in the picture or whatever, that's not a vibe you want to be around, so you want to nip that in the bud and remove yourself from that particular scenario, okay? The next one, and this is even more important, very, very important actually, is controlling behavior, okay? Now, this is in particular if things are starting to get a little bit more serious, you're getting to an actual kind of relationship with this woman, and you notice that she's trying to limit the amount of time that you go out with your friends, or you see, you know, or even your work life. I mean, that's even worse, right? You know, she's really trying to control everything. She's trying to make you follow her program, okay? That for me is a huge, huge red flag, and that really is now a deal breaker for me, because I have to be autonomous, okay? And I'm not just saying that from a selfish perspective. I mean, obviously, I am incredibly narcissistic and selfish as an individual, of course, but, you know, it's not even really that. It's just that, look, you know, I organise my own life, I have my own things to do, I have to create content, I have to coach guys, I have to, you know, blah, right? And if somebody is going to sort of impede that, it's going to make it very difficult for us to be together in any meaningful way, okay? But the darker side to this is not, again, not just the inconvenience it might cause me, but it's like, where is she coming from? And look, I mean, the truth is, you know, many women are beautiful, wonderful creatures, and, you know, just like dudes, you know, there are some good and there are some bad. But if somebody is sort of, you get the sense that they're very much trying to control you, particularly towards the beginning, you have to nip that in the bud, because it's not going to get any better. and you don't want that kind of vibe in your life, right? You don't want that kind of energy, okay? So any signs of controlling behavior where she's trying to limit the time that you spend with your friends, she's trying to limit what you do in terms of your work, or she's trying to make you or shame you into not doing certain things you have to do, or spending sort of excessive time with her to the detriment of other parts of your life, and you just feel like all of a sudden you're being sort of compelled, that's a situation you need to remove yourself from, okay? And then the third thing, and this is particularly key for me, I would say, is signs of addictive behavior, you know, and we could be talking about things like drug use, things like, you know, excessive use of alcohol, things like even eating disorders, which kind of falls under that same umbrella, okay? If you're seeing signs of that, and again, look, I mean, this is not to say that she's a bad person, absolutely the opposite. I mean, I myself have, you know, an addictive nature, I have very addictive tendencies, okay? But for me, personally, that's why I have to be very careful about this, because if I'm, and again, I talk about energy, you know, if I'm allowing that energy into my life, that can create chaos in my life, and what I'm really seeking ultimately is calm and peace and serenity so that I can do my stuff. I don't need to have somebody else's, you know, psychological BS being piled on top of me. And, you know, I was talking to James about this recently. We were saying it's kind of like when you are intimate with somebody, even if you guys are not in a serious relationship, you're just kind of dating, whatever, you're intimate with her, you know, you're presumably having sex, you're spending time with her, right? That is inviting that energy, whatever energy she has, you're inviting that into her life, and that is necessarily going to have an impact on your mental state, on the way that you operate in the world, okay? And when people are going through their own journey with things like addiction, with things like eating disorders, substance abuse, destructive habits and all that kind of stuff, I mean, they're not bad people. They've got their own journey to go through, but you can't help them, all right? She's got to work through her own journey just like you've got to work through yours. And in the end, it's got to be about self-protection, okay? Because you've got to protect your own state. You've got to protect your own spirit, okay? You've got to protect your own soul, if we want to get metaphysical about it. So those are the key things I would really look out for. So undue flakiness, okay? Controlling behavior and signals of addictive or self-destructive tendencies. Those things for me are the real red flags. I'm not bothered about whether, you know, she wears a sundress or she wears a sun hat or she's got tattoos. I mean, all of that is kind of secondary, it's cosmetic. But those things I think are really, really important. So I would caution you and I would counsel you to look out for them. Anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to leave it there for now because I'm being given my food. Thank you very much. But please do subscribe to the channel, link below. Press the notifications bell because God only knows that I'm shadow banned to hell. So hit that notifications bell so that you are kept up to date with new videos. If you want to have a call with me to discuss your dating life, free, no obligation, email me troy@realtroyfrancis.com, or there's a Calendly link below. Buy my books, Renegade Dating Blueprint, collection of 11 books about dating, the dating marketplace, sex, and all of those good things. And I'll see you guys again very soon in the next video. Troy Francis, New York City, signing off. Bye-bye.